Yo, another news. Mina the Hollower is out. Mina the Hollower is finally out. And I've been looking forward to this game. This demo has not left my Switch since it was originally released for the Switch 2. What was it now? A few months back, something like that. I love the game. This game is, of course, is, you guys know I love retro games. If you guys, of course, want to see more retro games, go ahead and follow VSChristopher Keith Retro. That's the home of retro, where everything I play there is retro. So if you guys are interested in that, go check that out. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. But Mina the Hollower is, I could tell right away just that they really put a lot of love and care into this game. So I wasn't concerned when they pushed it back at all. Now, no concern at all about that. Now, one thing I like about Yacht Club games, and if you guys are watching, I don't know if you guys will even see this, but if you guys are watching, let me tell you something. This is what I like about you guys. You guys don't just slap the term retro and just say, because, I guess the term retro really can mean anything now. It's so loose. But I guess what I mean is, what happens a lot of times nowadays is that people seem to make a game pixelated, and then they say, oh, this is retro. You know what I mean? A game is pixelated, they go, oh yeah, this is a retro game, But when I played Shovel Knight, I remember when I first played Shovel Knight, and it had it was like the almost 1-to-1 the feel of the NES that it was going for. I mean, the colors looked NES like, it was like you guys followed the sound of it, the feel of it. Everything was right. Like, it's just like you guys really took your time and studied the NES, and then it really felt like a game that would have came from that era of time, instead of just making a game pixelated and then just saying this is a retro game. You know what I mean? So as a retro connoisseur, I just wanted to let you guys know I do appreciate that. I'm excited for this release, and I'm excited, of course, to try this game out to play it in its entirety, because I can tell that it also has that same love and care as well. And I know in this one, this is going for more of a Game Boy Color style. But the game looked great, feels great, sounds great. I'm definitely looking forward to this game. And then I was looking at some reports that Yacht Club pretty much bet the house on this, and I could really relate to that fully, because if you got a vision and you have that feel that this is going to work out, you got to keep going, and you got to nail this thing and see that vision into this entirety, so I looked at some of the reviews of this game, and it looks like the reviews are doing very well, which I knew it was going to be good for my own personal taste, but I'm happy that a lot of the reviewers are reviewing it very well as well, because usually, like I said, the things that you guys touch is great. So I am excited, and I'm hopeful that, I can relate to betting the house, because look, I'm betting the house on these channels. So I understand the feeling of that. You have a vision whenever and maybe somebody else is listening out here. If you have a vision, if you have a God-given vision and you see it, and you know that's going to work, would you rather look back and say that you didn't go for it, or would you, when you're older or later on, or would you look back and say, man, I had the opportunity to go for it and I didn't go for it, or I had the opportunity to go for it and we didn't go for it? You know what I mean? Would you look back? Which one would you choose? At some point, you got to take a risk. A risk. Sometimes you got to take risks to go after the stuff that that you can do, that you want to do. Everything is not just completely risk free. You know what I mean? There's got to be risk involved at some point in success. You know what I mean? So, Yacht Club, I wish you guys well, 100%. Absolutely. And I hope that this completely blows you guys' mind as far as the love and support from the gaming community. And actually, since we're talking about this, and I don't want to, segue, but there's something else that I kind of want to talk about that kind of actually ties with this, and I'm going to go into detail with this on my next video as well, because we need to talk about the state of the gaming industry. But the interesting thing is this: hardware prices are going up all over the place. Of course there's tariffs, and there's RAM, and there's all that stuff that's at play. But the funny thing about this is, like, did we in the gaming industry forget about the most important thing? It's the games. Hello? It's the games. Everything is supposed to be about the games. If the games are not good, okay? If the games themselves that we make these platforms and these consoles and it's for, if the games are not good, then what are we doing here? What are we doing? And the reason why I'm bringing this up in this video is because that's what the consoles are supposed to be for in the first place. Good games. That's what it's, it doesn't matter if this, this game is 3D or 4D or 2D or whatever. Is the game good? Hello? Is the game good? And the interesting thing is that to have Yacht Club put out a game that's been loved and cared, and I'm not saying other developers are not doing that, but in this modern time of gaming, we can admit that there are, there's a lot of cash grabs in this time. We got to admit that in the gaming industry, that cash grabbing is now run rampant in the industry, and that's why it had to be rebooted in the first place. That's why it was it crashed at least in the United States, and it had to be resuscitated with the NES. But it's supposed to be about the games, and that's what Mina the Hollower reminds me of. The games. Are the games good? You know what I mean? The games. That's what the hardware encloses. It encloses the software, the games. That's what got us here. That's what brought us to the table in the first place. And if that can't be nailed, we don't really give a dang about any console that's $1,000, $2,000. What are we paying for it for? You know what I mean? What's on it that's worth that? If the games are mediocre or basic at best, bland at best, then we can't. It's not. That's what causes the devaluation, which causes a crash. So anyway, that's why I brought it up in this video, because Mina the Hollower reminds me of the games. The games are supposed to be good. That's what brought us to the table, and congratulations. I tip my hat off to you again, Yacht Club, and can't wait to try it out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.